most parts too.
Moonrise. I can see you cry. Your heart, my home. Your heart, my home. Are you actually recording now?
Mm-hmm.
So
it can be thrown away.
No, that's fine. I just was going to explain what I was doing. So I'm overdubbing some stuff on an original song, and that's a good example of what this whole video is about, which is the things that we don't do to cheat in Jamestown. I'm recording these parts actually for Michelle. These are the vocal parts that I'm intending her to sing on this song that I wrote, and so I was just recording them on the overdub of our recording of it, the song. We made our first attempt at it last night. It went pretty well. And so now I'm adding these parts. I'm going back and recording them without playing my bass and trying to stay in time with the band and everything like that. I just get to focus on the vocals and add these vocal parts. These are things that we don't do on the songs that we release. The songs that we release for public consumption are just live one-shot recording. They are mixed down like this. Is the mixer on the screen?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. So I'm gonna rotate
Turn
this
it a
just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can see my screen up here. We do track the songs. We do make also a master recording that's just 2 tracks, that's just straight off the mixing board. But I also make these individual tracks, and this is my vocal, and this is the guitar part, this is Erica's violin, this is my bass. These are the effects on the guitar, which is a lot of our sound, as Michelle has these ambient effects on the guitar that make it sound sustained and full behind the band. Create what we call a pad, which is just kind of a bed of nice ambient sound that fills the song out. So anyway, we track all these, and I'll mix them down and master them. I've got some effects on here. The latest one I found is this thing called Limiter number 6 that we found on a YouTube video, and it's as complicated as it looks, but the nice thing is the presets are just fine as they are. So, but what this thing does is it makes the high, big peaks of the song softer so that you can bring the rest of the volume up, and the overall song is louder and more present. And if you hear things about the loudness wars, it's about how they use that and things like that. But I wanted to just show you the kind of thing. It's another original song that we're working on, and it's another. I'm going to turn the volume up here so you can hear what I'm. Whoa, sorry.
Your mic's still hot.
Yep, I forgot about that. Let me turn the recording off. There we go. And now it won't do that. So this is another original song that we're working on. It's a song of Michelle's called Twisted Lies. And I think this is it. Oh, no, that's the one I was just doing. Sorry. Got to go back one more. And there's Michelle messing up the words. We both forget the words to our own songs. It's kind of sad. But so Daniel's working here, and he's trying to fit his drum parts in. But Michelle's song is very odd. It has this cycling feel that you can hear already. And right here, it's already into a chorus, but you don't really feel this usual transition. Now it's going to come back out. And as you heard there, Daniel put a drum fill after the chorus stops. And it's already back in when Michelle sings, "I Might Stay," bang, that's where the new verse starts. And then Daniel adds his drum fill. So I'm going to export a recording of that real quick, and then we're going to pause because that actually takes a moment.
Go ahead. I stopped it instead of pause, but that's okay.
Oh. So this is called Twisted Lies Daniel, and I'm exporting between a pair of markers that designate, I've got little flags up here that designate where to stop and start, and I'm exporting this as an MP3. So once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do, and it says, yeah, it's going to take about a minute. I may be able to talk all the way through this, or maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and fix Daniel's drum part and put the drum fill in the right place. And it's actually a fairly easy operation, and it makes recording nice studio quality recordings much easier, because if you have a repeated part in a song, and most songs are pretty repetitive, you can just grab the best take of that part and just go chunk 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 and copy it all the way through the song, and the poor guitarist or drummer or whoever doesn't have to play the whole song perfectly. There's Daniel's Twisted Lies track right there. Twisted Lies Daniel, that's his original take on it, which is incorrect. So this right here is the drum part, and I'll solo it here so that's what you're hearing. So that doot doot doom boom here is right in here, and that's the part that's in the wrong spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of those, and I'm going to find just the beginning of that fill. That blob right there is the first hit on the fill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut right there, and I'm going to grab these pieces and I'm going to drag them back to where they should be, and I think it should hit here. Let's see how that sounds. I've got to take him off of solo here so we can hear the rest of the music and see if that drum fill fits in right with everything else. Okay, I went a little too far back. I'm going to put it over here so I can see the next beat that I want to try. That looks like that one's a really solid beat, so I'm going to overlay that one. You see there's a big blob there. That's usually a strong beat, and I've got a big blob on my wave file here that likewise should be a strong beat. So hopefully laying those over each other will put it in the right spot. Nope, still too late. So it's actually on one of these weaker ones. I'm going to go about here, see if that fits.
You need to cut that last beat off.
So yeah, that last beat is a little too fast. So what I'll do is I'll cut here, and that last beat was early. I'll let you hear it again. Bam. It should be a little bit later there, so we're going to drag that beat out over here a little bit. And let's see how this sounds. Oh, there's a little bit of overlay there. We'll go ahead and bring this back out. So what happened is the file that I didn't cut, I dropped the file in over the existing file, so the existing file was playing behind it in the gaps, and that was bad. But now I just got to find the right place to put these. Was that? It's about the right spot. I got to make this sound a little more natural, so I'm going to let that cymbal crash fade so that yeah, go ahead.
I would remove that last beat that you're messing with.
Oh, okay.
Let the phrase in front of it do its fade, but go find a beginning, because that's what you're coming up on is a doot doot doot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he's probably got that somewhere else in the in this
Yep.
recording.
So we'll go back to the beginning here, and it comes in about here. So there's what Michelle's talking about.
Sorry, this is shaky. I can't get my tripod to stand up. It keeps wanting to fall over.
So here's what Michelle's talking about, this little bit here. So I'm going to take this section and I'm going to move back to where we were at the end of the previous bit. That's what Michelle was talking about. And I'm going to paste it in here. Now, that...
I have to play with it to match it up, right, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it, that beat should be right on the beat there. So let's see. Okay, so that's perfect. Now what I want to do is take that. So I lined up, just to show you what I did again here, is I lined up this bass drum hit. That little bitty blob there was the kick drum on the downbeat. But he's got, whoa, he's got a cymbal crash and a kick drum here on the downbeat. So I don't want to overdo that. So I pull these files back to where the cymbal crash is the downbeat, but here's the related 2 of the snare on that big strong beat there. And this is what we get. And there we go. In fact, I can drag, it remembers the rest of the file, so I can actually drag these out to where it continues in time.
Oh, from his original.
Yeah. So there it goes. And now, didn't mean to do that. Sometimes these mouse movements are less than precise. I'm going to leave this open here, actually drag it past and kind of crossfade these two.
Yeah, crossfade is your friend.
Well, that's not what I meant to do though. I tried to, not what I meant to do. Fortunately, Control Z does work nicely here.
Yes, Control Z is your friend too.
So what I need to do is, it's supposed to do this kind of automatically, but it kind of doesn't. But there you can now see the crossfade from the one to the other. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Bring this out over here, and I've got a fade out going there, and then I'm going to put a fade out on this part here, drag them across each other, and you can see the crossfade, and then I'm going to drop that down and get something like this. Nope.
I ended up with an extra beat in there.
Yeah. See, it moves it instead of grabbing the edge and letting me drag it. So, no. Go this. No. Quit moving the file. I just want to move the edge. It's very annoying that way sometimes, Studio One is. So I'm going to pull this way over here. I'm going to crossfade it a little more, and I'm going to fade out until that little blob goes away. Do the same thing here. And so what I've done here is I pulled the crossfade way further, and I'm going to drop this down till that center blob, which is the incorrect snare hit, goes away. And now this should be. So the cymbal cuts off a little quickly, but other than that, it sounds pretty good. If I go the other way, it's going to keep the snare hit though.
Depends where you put it. But you can also zoom. Well, I don't know if you can do that in this. One of the benefits of Acid is you can zoom super high res into it, and you can volume envelope out an actual, blip
Yeah.
on your file.
So another thing I could do here to get rid of that little bit in the middle is slant. I think it'll grab. No, it won't. Okay, so if I change this to where this comes in fairly quickly, and this one, as you can see, I'm turning the curve around so that instead of curving this way, it's curving this way now. And that will drop that snare out pretty solidly, I believe. And I'll bring this in here. We're still going to lose a little bit of the, oh, that's not what I wanted. We're still going to lose. That's annoying. It undid what I was trying to do. Come back here.
You can right click and choose the shape.
Yeah.
If it's being ridiculous.
So let's we go. Let's try that. Yeah, it's not that important to fix the cymbal carrying on is not all that big a deal. But I'm gonna, as you can see, I'm gonna reverse the curve here. It was scooped like this, now it's scooped like that. And bring this side in a little quicker and see what we end up with here.
You're only listening to the other track.
Yeah. Got a little ghost stroke on the snare from the, it's still there, very faded. But it just sounds like a little ghost stroke. Yeah. So there we've fixed Daniel's drum part there. And again, he didn't have to come in here and redo it or anything like that. We were just able to cut and paste a section and reuse it in a different spot so it covers up a mistake. So it's a fairly easy operation to do, but part of our deal here is we kind of want to show you what it's like to really be there as we struggle through. We're not, fantastic musicians or anything. We're just ordinary people trying to do stuff that we think is fun and trying to get better at it. And we just want to have you along for the journey. So we're not really interested in putting this fancy polish, these kind of Snapchat filters on our face, to our face being the music, to kind of make it what it's not.
And the reason you're doing this is so Daniel has a better reference to work from,
right,
to refine his part. So now he can hear things he wasn't hearing before.
Exactly. And so now he can improve his part and make his part more what he wants it to be, because ultimately what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to duplicate this. What's important to us is what can we do in the moment, live, when the pressure's on, when everything's just has to be there. And so we do some cheating like that. In order to do that, one of the things I got done mixing down was Letters from the Sky, and Michelle liberally uses a harmony box which duplicates her vocal on a different pitch. And it sounds a little auto-tuney, but we make that sacrifice. I could learn all of those harmony parts she sings, but I would have to also get in Michelle's head and figure out when she's going to do what so that I could go with it. Let me just jump to that real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So if I get through here to towards the end of Letters from the Sky here. So you can hear there's two voices there. Now I could sing, that part's fairly loose. Coming back to me, coming back. But I've got to know what she's doing.
Yeah, I don't always time it that way.
So this... So you could hear a little bit of that auto-tuning bit there, but what it does let Michelle do is Michelle can completely improvise that. She can go wherever she wants, whenever she wants, and the harmony box will follow her. That's something that I can't do, or at least we haven't developed that kind of ESP yet. Maybe if we keep doing this for another 10 years, we'll be that good to where we can anticipate each other's improvs. But what the harmony box there does, we're willing to sacrifice a little bit of that auto-tuning sound in order to let Michelle be creative with her vocal there and still have that part there. So that's a kind of cheat that we do use. We'll use the harmony boxes and stuff. But what the important thing for us is being able to duplicate it live and in the moment, and be able to present to you what it's really like to be there, sitting there listening to Jamestown. So there you go. Thanks for coming with us today, and we'll see you next time.